And we are live. Good evening. Good evening. We got some comments up already. I don't know when they were on. Looks like 30 minutes ago it began. What's everybody doing tonight? We are freezing here in Texas. It is cold. It's like 50 some degrees here. Let's just see. It is, what is it? It is, come on, man. It is 56 degrees here with 22-mile-an-hour wind. Is this a hurricane? I don't know, but it's cold, man. It's cold. I'm telling you. God. Wow, looks like I have Tacomas on my head. Anyway, we got some people on early. Looks like Cole, Thundergolf 501, was on 30 minutes earlier and marked the time. I appreciate that. Richard Garner. Hi, Rob and Krista. Krista is over there somewhere. Jordan. Hi, Jordan. How you doing? Jordan, like the lifted. Thanks, Jordan. I appreciate that. I love it. I love it. Edge every day. Hello, guys and gals. Edge, how you doing, buddy? What's happening tonight, man? Are you staying warm? Richard Garner, hi, Edge. Edge says, hello, Richard. Richard says, Edge, my real name is Richard. Richard Garner. Let's see. Gear Runner says, I just got my notification. Awesome. Cool. Welcome. How you doing, Gear? What's up? I saw you called me today. I know why you called me. Edge Everyday says, hello, Gear. Gear Runner says, what? Gear Runner says, hey, Edge. Thundergolf 501 says, it's 40 there. Oh, my God. So you're getting this cold weather.
They can keep it.
Gear Runner, it's 80 degrees here, laughing my arse off. Yeah, I hear you. It's 50, whatever I said here. It's funny. I was out working in the garage, sweating to death, man. It was hot. I was sweating my arse off, right? And then all of a sudden, I feel this cool air coming in through the garage, you know, through the door. I step outside, and the humidity is gone.
It's a miracle.
It was a miracle. It was just like that, gone.
Now
I couldn't believe it. Krista said she's freezing her arses off.
My bad.
Swearer, heathen.
Oh, my bad.
Jeez.
Oh, my God.
Gear Runner says, hey, Cole. Edge Everyday says, live chat. Thank you, Edge. I appreciate that. I was not
Every time.
on live chat. I can never, ever remember that, man.
Every time.
Gear Runner says, hey, Garner. Pedro Rodriguez says, you are giving me taco fever, brother. Taco fever is what everyone should have. I'm telling you, I've had a taco. I got a Tundra. I'm back to the taco. Except for the power and the space. It's awesome. I mean, I can mod it. I can do stuff to it. Look at that truck. Look at these pictures. Look at this thing. It's awesome. It's awesome. Not to say that the Tundra lifted with bigger wheels and stuff would have been awesome too. It would have. There's no doubt about it. But I just couldn't fit it. For everybody that keeps asking me, why did you do that? Why did you? It wouldn't fit in my situation, you know. That's the only reason. I don't hate the Tundra. I did not want the Tundra. It just wouldn't fit. So I got the next best thing. The next best looking, or the best looking, I'm sorry, the best looking truck on the road. There is no better looking truck than the Tacoma. It is. It's the best looking truck on the road. I don't care.
Interrupt you real quick?
What, dear?
What time is it?
It's 5:33.
Thank you.
Let's see. So Pedro, but you've got a Tundra, man. You've got a cement Tundra, right?
He's got a rockin' Tundra.
He's got a cement Tundra just like I had, and he did all the stuff. And so what are you talking about, man? Thundergolf 501 says, hey, Andy and Brian. Richard Garner says, Gear Runner, don't lie. We all know you were in the shower. He probably was in the shower. See, what happened earlier is I accidentally hit Gear's phone number and it called him. I hung up right away and I thought, yeah, I hope it didn't go through, you know, because I didn't mean to call. And he was probably at work. Well, it's Gear Runner we're talking about, so he probably wasn't at work. I don't know. So then I'm on the phone. You know, still trying to get things done here, you know, insurance and health insurance and all this crap I have to do. And Gear calls me, and I thought he's got to be calling me because I called him, so that's what I figured. If I was wrong, then I apologize. But there was no message, so I could only assume that was why. I don't know. ThrobbNation fan, otherwise known as JC. Hi. JC, how you doing, buddy? I saw you and your buddy there were looking at doing some ATV riding yesterday. I assume you got out. Did he ever pay you the $4 he owed you? $4. Did you collect? That's what I want to know. You see, I'm out there. Gear Runner says, nope, not this time, LOL. Yeah. Devontae says, hi, everyone. Devontae, how you doing, buddy? Gear Runner, hello, AJC. Gear Runner says, you called me first. I did. I did call you first. It was an accident. Joe Gaspar. Joe, hello. Welcome to the channel. Welcome to the feed. Love the Tundra. However, have always loved Tacomas. Yeah, I mean, I've always loved the Tacoma. It's the best looking truck on the road, you know. This is my third. I should have kept the first one I had because I really like that truck, but we didn't get along well in the snow. And for you guys who say that lockers are great, lockers are not great in the snow. That thing had a locker on it. I activated it, and all I did was do this in the driveway. I didn't move forward. I just did this back and forth. That's why I got rid of it. Love that truck otherwise. I really did. I should have kept that one, but, you know, what are you going to do? I take that back. I've had this is my fourth Tacoma. This is my fourth Tacoma. Wow, I forgot the black one. I've had a blue one, a black one, a blue one, and now a red one. This is my fourth Tacoma. I must like them, right? Let's see. Gear Runner says, hey, Devontae. Edge Everyday says, this. He says, this is my weather. I still have shorts on. Oh my God, I'm sitting here in a frickin' coat. It's 50-some degrees and windy. It's cold. And we did something this morning. We took the lovely, gorgeous, mean Tacoma that you can see up there. See them? There's like 5 pictures of them. We took it to the Department of Motor Vehicles this morning because today was Switch Your License Day. Registration Day. So we went to the DMV and we got our Texas driver's licenses. Krista had a little problem though, I'm going to tell you. This is what happens when you get old. When you get old, you can't see so well anymore. And old Krista there, I said old, O-L-E. Old Krista there had a little problem seeing the numbers on the vision test with her glasses on. I'm just saying, I don't know. I'm all choked up over it. Richard Garner says, Gear Runner, I almost bought a something pop of Chucky today. I don't know what that means. Gear Runner says, hi, Joe Gaspar, or Gasper. I hope I'm saying that right. Edge Everyday says, I see it is looking at me. Uh-oh. Gear Runner says, I actually have that one, Garner. I'm not surprised. Part of Gear's doll collection. Edge Everyday says, hello. Hashtag Team Nuts. Krista? She's gone into silent mode. Gear Runner says, well, my wife owns the horror ones. ThrobbNation fan, JC says, sorry, Gear, about yesterday's live stream. I saw you got on right as I pressed end. I tried again to see if you would be back on, but you weren't. You missed him by like just a minute. It was just a minute. You got to be fast with Gear because he doesn't last very long. A couple seconds and he's done, you know. Let's see. M. Jones. How you doing, man? M. Jones says, does the taco have a do while it's eating the Tundra for breakfast? Awesome. I like that. I may use that. And the answer would be yes. Jordan says, Tundra lifted. Toyota Tundra lifted. That would be cool, too. I would have done that had I had the room. You see, if I'd have lifted my Tundra, I'd be parking in the street. And I don't park in the street, man. It's just something I don't do. I don't do it because I have a garage. Why would I park in the street? Pedro says, space and power is a big deal, though. yeah, I mean, like I said, if I had the room, you know, in a different situation, you know, I would be sitting in a lifted Tundra. The cement Tundra I had would be lifted right now with the same awesome wheels, maybe bigger tires. I don't know, but I love those wheels. What do you guys think of the wheels? I almost got the bronze wheels. Excuse me, because those are what were on the truck at the showroom that I saw. But then I thought, bronze and red, I don't know, so I'm going to go black. I love the way it looks, man. ThrobbNation fan says, you got a Tacoma. What? JC, let me tell you something, brother. When you are using the name ThrobbNation fan, and you don't know that I've gotten a Tacoma, that is a conundrum. There's something wrong there. Plus, what do you see on the screen, man? At least I hope you see something on the screen. I don't know. Gear Runner says, I got busy later and couldn't get back on, JC. Sorry about that. Danny Martinez. Danny, how you doing? Welcome to the stream. Welcome to the channel. Danny says, it's understandable. Absolutely. Absolutely. Richard Garner says, Rob, you get all the alien insects and reptiles in your yard from Mars. Yes. Did you see the moth? I don't know if you're on Krista's Instagram. She posted a picture of this gigantic moth. Everything's huge here. No, I won't say it. Pedro says, ha 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 ha. I don't know what I'm talking about. I need both. Yeah, Pedro, man. If you need space, everybody needs power. That's a given. Tacoma's probably not for you unless you don't have room to keep it, you know. ThrobbNation fan says, that's all right, Gear. Thunder Golf 501 says, girlfriend is already watching Christmas movies. Girlfriend? Wait a minute. What have I missed? I didn't know you had a girlfriend. When did you get a girlfriend? Asaf Farfar says, this is live now, or this is live. I am live. It is live. There's no or. I am here. Richard Garner says, Gear Runner, I think there are, let's see. Oh, my goodness. Oh, my goodness. I think there are two kinds of gnat, winter gnat and summer gnat. Yeah, I think you're right. Fat habitat. Fat habitat. Let's get that right, because I like that. Fat habitat. How you doing? Welcome to the channel, man. Fat habitat says Throb. I have to admit, I was skeptical and wrong on the Tacoma, but the Tundra is outdated, and no Tundra, even lifted, looks as good as the Taco. No truck looks as good as the Tacoma, man. I mean, look at that truck. Look at it. It's gorgeous. And that red. The more I see that red, it's like a candy apple red almost. It just glistens. I'm so glad I got red. Still, really did like the Inferno, though. That's a pretty cool color. But I do like this red with the black and all the blacked out stuff on it. I just think it's cool. And it looks, pictures don't do it justice. I mean, they really don't. It looks mean in public, or in person. And in public, too, I guess. Let's see. Gear Runner says, it is live, Asaf. Asaf. I always struggle with that. Gear Runner says, I don't even see winter gnats. We're going to have the winter gnats. I got a fly in the screened-in porch right now, and it's 50-some degrees outside. He left over from summer. Edge Everyday says, what's up, everybody? Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe to the channel. And don't forget to hit the notification bell for up-to-date content. And you'll be notified when I go live. Thanks for pointing that out, Brian. I do appreciate that. By the way, Brian, I'm going to try to get this right. Do you see that right there? You see that? Look at that. See it? Huh? Where's Joseph Baker? Huh, Joseph? Right there. See that? Look at that. Huh? Let's see. Rick Beck. Rick, how you doing, buddy? Welcome to the channel. Welcome to the live, man. Rick says, I like the Tundra better, much better looking truck. Yeah, I got to disagree with you there. I like the Tundra better for other reasons, but certainly not for looks. For me, and even when I had the Tundra, The Tacoma is the best looking truck on the road. I've said that a million times. Now, 1,000,001. Pedro says, I've had 3 tacos, including the generation you have. 3 Tundras too, though. Well, the next one you get's going to settle it, I think. I don't know. Sounds like there might be a Tacoma in your future. Asaf says, thanks, Gear Runner. Gear Runner says, I've had 1 taco. Did you? How long ago did you have one, man? Richard Garner says, Gear Runner, I saw Chucky shake it more than twice in the Blu-ray movie I watched today. He must have been dancing up a storm. I don't know. Joe says, hey, Gear Runner. Jordan says, Toyota Tacoma lifted. Isn't it awesome? My Tacoma, which you can see here, right here. I keep pointing that out, I know. Is a 3.2 ready lift, which is just spacers and blocks. I know. People say, why you shut it up? Well, it's spacers and blocks. With the tires, it gave me, tires and new wheels, it gave me probably about a, let's say between a 5 1/4 and 6 inch lift, or 6 inch height difference, let's say. Plenty of room in the garage. That was my concern. I've probably got at least another, 4 to 6 inches, I'd say, in height that I could go. The space between the columns, I guess, on the lift, plenty of room there, no big deal. I've got at least probably 3 to 4 inches per side or so left over with the wider tires, or the offset. So fits really well. I will be able to fit it on the lift, so if I need to, which I'm sure I will, hint, hint, exhaust, put it up in the air so I can work underneath or do whatever I want to do under there. So, and we got to talk about exhaust. Gear Runner posted a video today on his Borla exhaust, which sounds awesome, by the way. So now that throws another one in the mix, but I realize I've got a V6. Obviously, the Tacoma's a V6, and probably not going to achieve, well, I shouldn't say probably, not going to achieve that intoxicating V8 sound. But if I can get close with something, and the MBRP that I've heard a few times sounds pretty good. And it's a bolt-on, and they also offer a dual exhaust option. It'll be out the sides, but they do have a dual exhaust option where I could, have dual exhaust off of the back of the Tacoma. My only fear in doing that is, and this is the same when I did the Tundra. On the Tundra, I had the TRD Pro exhaust put on. And when I picked it up, the exhaust was skewed. It was crooked. It wasn't sitting right. So I had to take it back, and they put different hangers and stuff and bead on it, who knows. But they got it to even out. You know what I mean? So it wasn't sitting kind of cockeyed. I'm concerned that if I put a dual exhaust on the back of the Tacoma, that I'm going to have the same problem. That it's not going to sit even. It's going to be cockeyed. It's going to be skewed one way or the other. Probably towards the left side, because the right side, or the passenger side, is where the exhaust currently is. So I'm thinking it would probably lean towards the driver's side, would be my guess. Only because you would have the setup, the original setup already from the passenger side. But I don't know, man. Gear Runner says, you know what that means, Garner. LOL. Yeah. Fat Habitat says, the Tundra and the Sequoia are just way too dated. They are. Although I didn't have big issues with the Tundra. I mean, I really didn't. It was simplistic. And, for my monochrome kind of cement look that I had, kind of fits, kind of went together. So, but you're right. Definitely needs some modernizing. Richard Garner says, Gear Runner, I do. Apparently they just got married. I'm not sure exactly what that happened there. Let's see. Let's go back over here. Pedro Rodriguez says, something about the Pro Taco, though. Yeah, I'm not a big Pro Taco fan. I think, one, I think it's pretty darn simple inside. Two, the ones I've seen had the black fenders, the black flares. I do not like the black plastic flares. Now, I know the flares on the side of my truck, for example, are plastic, but they're painted. And they're not just plain flares. That's my big, it might be dumb, I don't know. That's my biggest problem with the Pro Taco. I don't know. ThrobbNation fan says, I think the Ridgeline is the best looking truck on the road. Oh my God. LOL, in case you didn't get the joke, I really think it's the worst looking truck on the road. I didn't, but I do now. Thank God. Gear Runner says, action figures, laughing my arse off. Yeah, action figures. Asaf says, so with the lift of the tires, how much difference have you noticed in the handling? Well, I'll give you guys a sneak peek. I have a video coming out on that. I think maybe tomorrow or the next day. I'm not sure. There is a difference. Anybody, I don't care, tells you there isn't a difference, then I don't know. Either they are very, very insensitive to the ride quality of their vehicle, or they're lying. I don't know. But there is a huge difference. Now, is it a bad difference? I wouldn't say it's bad. But there is a difference. There's a difference in ride quality. There's a difference in feel. And by that, I mean in what you feel in the steering wheel, at least on mine. And there would have to be. I mean, these tires are like 12 and a quarter, 12 and a half inches wide. And they have huge knobs on them as compared to, you know, just all season, all weather, whatever tires that come with the truck. So there is a big difference. Now, again, is it bad? If you want a truck that's going to ride smooth and you're not going to feel the road and you're not going to feel anything in the steering wheel, then there's probably a difference that you won't be able to stand. I don't have a big problem with it myself. I mean, it's still nice and smooth. I did have an issue, though. I had an issue. When I brought it home from the dealer, not the dealer, the shop, the night that I brought it home, and I'd never had a truck with these kind of wheels on. I never had a lifted truck before, right? So I brought it home, and I'm driving down the road, and I'm hitting about 55 or something, whatever. And I'm watching the speedometer for whatever reason, and it kind of looks like it's doing this. Well, it was me that was doing this, right? And I kind of felt like if I held my teeth close enough together, they would chatter, you know? So I'm doing this on the road, in other words. The reason is because the balance weights that they put on the tires or the wheels fell off, some of them. When I got up the next morning, there was a row about yay long, and the balance weights were each about yay tall, laying on the floor in my garage. They had fallen off the wheel, or one of the front wheels, I guess. So I thought that morning, you know, I'm going to take it back to the dealer or the shop because I want them to check, because I thought that has to be from them. And in the back of my mind, I thought, well, maybe the installer just set a pair of them somewhere or whatever, and they just fell off the truck when I brought it home. That's what I was hoping. When I got to the shop that morning, the guy told me he was going to call me because he found some balance weights laying in the parking lot. And my truck was the only one that they had balanced that day. So, apparently several fell off. And that's why I was doing this going down the road, because the wheels weren't balanced, right? So they took it back to their balancing place or whatever, and they rebalanced it, and all was good. All's good. All's good now, except that same day, a while later, that evening actually, I went out and looked, and there were 2 balance weights laying on the floor. No adhesive on them, right? They were just laying on the floor. The adhesive, they fell off the adhesive, which was still sticking to the wheel. Now, you wouldn't think the balance weights would fall off of the strip of adhesive, right? If anything, the adhesive would just come off the wheel, but that's not what happened. So I Gorilla Glued them back on. I thought, you know, if these are the only 2 that came off, and God, I hope that's true, I'll just Gorilla Glue them back on and it'll be okay, which is what I did, and it seems to be fine now. So we'll see. I got to get it out somewhere. I haven't been anywhere that's above 55 miles an hour, because obviously the faster you go, the more you're going to be able to tell if those wheels are out of balance. And believe me, you can tell. I noticed above 45 miles an hour the next morning when I was taking it back to the shop. I could definitely feel that happening, and I could certainly tell that they were out of balance. So moral of the story, if it feels like it's out of balance or something's wrong, it probably is. Okay, let's catch up. I know I'm probably a billion years behind here, but there's the answer to your question, sort of. Oh, we got a super chat. Wait a minute. ThrobbNation fan, JC. Dear ThrobbNation audience, JC will be live after this stream. It will be called How Fast is 50 Miles an Hour? That's interesting. I'll have to check it out. JC, thank you for the super chat. I appreciate that. And if you haven't checked JC out, check him out. He's got a YouTube channel entitled JC. Okay, let's get back to the comments here. I saw Gear's action figure. Let's see. Gear claims that he's a mover and not a shaker. Don't want to know really any more about that. Richard Garter says, I hate the cold weather. It is not Scottish kilt wearing weather. Yeah, it sucks, and it's windy. It'd blow right up under that thing, man. I tell you. Mike Roten says, hey to thu, hashtag Lizard King. Yeah, that's funny. Mike says, hey, Gear. Mike says, hey, Garner. Edge Everyday says, I see you found the shifter. It is staring at me. There you go. See it right there. There is the shift knob. This shift knob was made for me by Edge Everyday, by the way. And it was like so well that Edge now has it's not a sponsor, but a subscriber that wants one for himself that I guess Edge is going to make. So stay tuned to Edge's channel, to check that out. Gear Runner says, what's up, Mike Roten? I see you're still working on that house. Mike says, hey, Mr. Edge. Mike says, yep. ThrobbNation fan says, get a Cam-Man Spider. I got to go back to this again, JC. I got to do this again. With a name like ThrobbNation fan, all right, I feel that there is some importance to you being familiar with the content of my channel. Okay. I had a Can-Am Spider. There are a few videos on the channel about that Can-Am Spider. So you got to check it out, man. Check out the Can-Am Spider I had. Richard Garter says, hi, Mike. Pedro says, is it a real bad, I guess that means bedlock, beadlock? What do you mean there, Pedro? I'm not sure if I understand. Soft says, sweet wheels, nice setup altogether. Thank you. I love it. I think it's awesome. Courtney says, hi, driving on my way to ShopRite, so I can't text. Hey, I appreciate you being on here in any capacity, Courtney. How you doing? I hope you're having a good night. Gear Runner says, hey, Slowmy is here. Uh-oh. She just peeled out right now. I can feel it. Richard Garner says, Rob must be old because he can't tell the difference between an action figure and a doll. Actually, I just never had either one. When I was little, actually, I think I had a G.I. Joe. And I think I did have a Ken doll. I'm not sure why the Ken doll thing exactly, but I think I did. Now, some people, Gear, had Barbies, and there's nothing wrong with that when you're little. I'm just saying. So, Mike says, took her a while, LOL. Gear Runner says, I know, Garner. Edge Everyday says, hey, ThrobbNation, when did you get the taco? I thought these were pics of what you want, LOL. Oh, my God. Yeah. Is that JC? JC, are you over there with Edge? Gear Runner retracted. Uh-oh. Edge Everyday says, hello, Mike. How you doing? Gear Runner says, did you all see how feeble Rob is getting in his old age? He had to have Krista open the taco's hood for him. It is amazing to me how heavy the hood is on that truck right there. I couldn't believe it. I unhooked it. I went to put it up with the same effort that I put up any other hood, and it wasn't enough. I had to give it more, It's heavy, relatively speaking, and that's because the Tundra is bad for your health. I got to say it. I know you guys will disagree with me, but the Tundra is bad for your health. The Tundra spoiled me in such a way that now I can't even put up the hood on a Tacoma. I'm just saying. It's bad for your health. ThrobbNation fan says, of course I know you. Of course I knew you got a Tacoma. I was referring to the Tacoma before the Tundra. Again, There are lots of videos on the channel about that, JC. Come on, you got to pull your weight, man. I should have said another Tacoma. Which you would have known. I'm just saying. Richard Garner says, Gear Runner, didn't Chucky die from his son killing him? Oh, man. I hope you didn't just ruin the plot. I have not seen all of the Chucky movies. I'm just saying. Edge Everyday says, sorry if I missed anyone. I am cooking. What's for dinner tonight? Are you cooking another possum, or what are we having tonight? Gear Runner said there was a new Chucky out on Netflix a few months back, Garner. I did not know that. Thundergolf 501 says, well, Rob, there is a reason I haven't been around much. I graduated with her. Just spending time with her after work. I'm honestly enjoying the no technology thing. Now, wait a minute. You got a girlfriend. And you're telling me that when you're not together, you're not texting her, she's not texting you, there's no phone calls, there's no Facebook or Instagram. Really? Really? Edge Everyday says, yup, I see it. I need to talk to you about the shifter. You're going to talk to me about the shifter? Uh-oh. It's not for sale, Edge. It's not for sale. I'm just saying, you know. Let's see. Mike says, cool, Cole, cool. Richard Garner says, Gear Runner, I'm going to have to get my brother to download the movie for me to watch. Yeah, I'm going to have to check it out. I got to catch up on the Chuckies. I admit it, I have not seen every one. Asaf says, I hear the taco is underpowered. Depends on what you want. I mean, for some, a Corvette is underpowered. For others, a Prius has plenty, you know. I don't know if I'd say it's underpowered. It could use more power, probably, if you're into that kind of thing. So I don't know if I'd say it's underpowered. It's probably not underpowered for what it is. It's like saying the Tundra is overpowered. I wouldn't say the Tundra is overpowered. I would even go as far to say that if the Tundra had any less power, it would be underpowered for its size. So, no, I don't think so. Gear Runner says, I had the taco years ago. I think it was like a 2003. Gotcha. Pedro says, Rob, give the live stream viewers a sneak peek on your ride quality impressions. I just did. I know I'm behind, so. Richard Garner says, Gear Runner, if you had a truck in 2003, then you are already old. Thank you, Richard. It's fine. I am so happy that somebody else has finally seen the light that Gear is not the 23-year-old that he thinks he is. You know, I mean, at least 45 if we're looking at the guy. I mean, I'm just saying. Gear Runner says thanks. Gear Runner says LOL. I am, Garner. I am. He turned 40 this year. I'm just saying. 40. God. Edge Everyday said, you know you're getting old when you finally are older than the oldest pair of underwear in your dresser. That's when you're getting old. And, you know, now I can't speak for Gear, but Edge Everyday says, did I miss a video? I was looking for the running boards installed on the Jeep. That has not been released yet, but it is done. Richard Garner says, Gear Runner, I was a teenager in 2003. So what happened? They have pills for that. I'm just saying. Fat Habitat says, I compared a Nissan Titan Pro 4X and a Tundra TRD side by side, and the Tundra just looks old. Yeah, I would think, compared to the Nissan. Now, the Nissan that you compared it to, did it have that massive, ugly, nasty, unless you like it, chrome grille? Much like the Tundra in its giant, massive, ugly chrome grille. Gear Runner says, they haven't posted that yet, Edge. Yeah, come on, man. Come on, you're scooping me, baby. Come on. Let's see. Ed says, okay, so I wasn't blind. That's Gear Runner. Yeah, Gear Runner's the blind guy. Fat Habitat. Especially with all the chrome on the Tundra, it's an old man's truck. Well, that's why you got to modify it. You know, I changed almost all of the chrome on my Tundra before I parted ways with it. So it gives you a lot to modify, which isn't bad either. I mean, you know. Sean says, not going to get the sound of our... Oh, wait a minute. Not going to get the sound out of that V6. Yeah, that's what I'm afraid of. You know, like I said, I've watched some videos with the MBRP exhaust, and it did sound pretty good. The problem with the V6, and someone mentioned this to me today, you can have a good sound with a startup on a V6. You really can. But when you give it gas, and this was true with the Tundra and the TRD Pro exhaust, when you give it gas, you lose that sound. It just starts to sound like a normal exhaust, you know? And that's what's going to happen with the V6, I guess. So for me, I'd have to live with the fact that you can't give it a lot of gas and expect to have a good sound. But you can get a little grumble at the start, and you can get a little grumble at speed. So that's kind of the way it's going to be so far from what I've seen anyway. Mike says, haha, I had an 89. That tell you how old I am. We already knew how old you were, Mike. Gear Runner says, I've had some modern. It broke down all the time and stayed in the shop. I'll keep my outdated, reliable Tundra. I got you. And it was. The Tundra, I had 0 issues with the Tundra, and I've had 0 issues with the Tacoma so far. Don't have a lot of miles on the Tacoma yet, but I had, I think, somewhere 11 to 12,000 when I traded the Tundra, and 0 problems, which is pretty good, since no other vehicle, truck-wise, that I've had, other than Tacoma, has ever been like that, I don't think. Richard Garner is Mike laughing out loud. Gear Runner says, nope, no way. Gear Runner says, hey, Sean DeLong, how you doing, buddy? Pedro, uh-oh, somebody just walked by. I don't know if she's going to stop in and say hello like a nice person would. Pedro says, the black flares definitely grew on me. But I think we can easily snap them out, just like we did on our Tundra. See, I never took mine off on the Tundra, so I don't know. But that would be good, because if you could take that truck and put some color match flares on it, might start to get a little bit better, for me anyway. Gear Runner says there's a huge difference, but I like the ride better. Better lifted, a lot less body roll. I could see that. Gear Runner says, lifted. Gotcha. Brian says, how is the acceleration with the larger tires? I haven't noticed any difference. I haven't noticed any difference at all with engine performance in the new setup. I mean, people had said, well, it's not going to shift. It's not going to, which I'm not sure I understand, but it's not going to shift into 6. It's always going to be hunting for gears because it's pulling those bigger tires. Haven't noticed that at all. So how's the acceleration? I would say the same. Richard Garner says, I have got to get me a vehicle to talk about. What are you driving, Richard? You probably said before, but what do you got there? Edge Everyday says, you do, Richard, you do. Well, do tell. Let's hear it. Sean DeLong says, you can run over some big curbs in the neighborhood. Golf cart, people beware. You could. They're massive, man. Don't have to worry about curbing it, I don't think. Micro10 says, hey, Sean. Fat Habitat says, people confuse lift feel with tire feel. I agree. A spacer lift doesn't change the suspension at all. Even a drop bracket lift isn't going to change the ride. If you want a better ride, go long travel. Daniel Shipley. Daniel, how you doing? Welcome. Daniel says, does your daughter still think the Tacoma is a girl's truck? I don't know. I haven't talked to her about the new truck, so probably. Especially since it's red. She'll probably say that's even more girly. I don't know. Sean says, hey, you Garrett. How you doing? Let's see. I am so far behind. I don't know. Maybe I should just skip ahead. But I don't want to miss anything. Richard Garner says, I am 34 years old, and it's about time I got off my dead arse and bought my first vehicle. If you're 34 years old and you've never bought a vehicle, you like riding a 10-speed bike? Well, what are you doing? Motorcycle? What are you doing? Gear Runner says, yeah, Garner, it's about bloody time, buddy. Edge Everyday says, hello, Sean. Fat T, or Fat rather, Daniel, JC, Brian, and Pedro. How is everyone going? It's Where are people going? Fat Habitat says, you should have paid the extra money for balance beads. What in the world are balance beads? Are those the, what look like soldered on?
Oh, can't see me. Oh, well.
That was a half-arsed attempt. I don't know what those are. You're going to have to enlighten me. One more time, thanks to JC for the $5 super chat. I appreciate that, JT. Or JC, I'm sorry. I really do. Richard Garner says, Rob, you were doing better on the comments tonight. Have I done worse? I don't know. I feel like I'm way behind. Gear Runner says, whoa, whoa, whoa. You did not see my action figure. I saw your Chucky with its mask and its little dinky knife. I think Chucky is deserving of a bigger knife, but maybe I have not seen another one, or maybe I did. I don't recall. Fat Habitat says 50 mile an hour is 4,000 RPM in first gear on my R1. Awesome. Richard Garner says I have a RoboCop action figure from when I was 10 years old. I had a Paul Stanley action figure from when I was probably 15 years old. Somebody got it for me, I think as a joke. I'm not exactly sure. But I don't have it anymore, and it's too bad because it might be worth something. I don't know. Gear Runner says, hit another milestone today. Just broke 500,000 views. Well, congratulations, man. 500,000 views for Gear. Here, here. Let's have a sip of water. I'm rationing my Mountain Dew because I only have like a 3/4 of a bottle left, and then I'm out. And that's going to be a sad day when I don't have any dew. I'm just saying. Mike Roten says, awesome gear. It is, and check out Gear Runner's channel if you haven't. King of the Crease says, oh, dag nabbit, I'm on the wrong channel. This is for the Tundra Mafia. I better go. King, King, King. You know, you don't even drive a Tundra, man. You don't even have a Toyota. So, this is a good channel for you. It's like a starter Toyota for you. So after you get rid of that truck you're driving, you can graduate to a truck like this. Now, I realize you're a pretty big guy, so you might have to take the driver's seat out and sit in the back so that you're not cramped against the pedals. Still, it's worth it, I'm telling you. Gear Runner says Rob is a Ken doll. He has a flat spot and a... Oh, boy. Oh, boy. Mike says, LOL, King. Gear Runner says, hey, King. Mike says, LOL, fear. I like that. I like that a lot. Fat Habitat says, just as a reference, I've 110 mile an hour in first gear on my bike at Redline, which is 12,000 RPM. Good God, man. What are you doing going 112 mile an hour on a bike? You must pedal like crazy. I don't know. Richard Garner says, good job on the subscribers. Green Ryobi. That must be Gear? I'm not sure who that is. Jordan says, Jeep lifted. You got it, Jordan. It's coming. It's coming. King of the Crease says, what's up, Mike and Gear? King of the Crease says, Richard Garner. Somebody's beating on something downstairs. I don't know. King of the Crease says, Richard Garner. Richard Garner says, Rob plays with dolls. Yeah, it's true. Richard Garner says, hi, King of the Crease. Richard Garner says, King of the Crease, where is my Octane Jigsaw, buddy? JC says, or ThrobbNation fan, trust me, I don't even know Edge. By the way, Edge, how many subs do you have? I have 88. Edge is in the 500 and sums now, I believe, last I saw. Mike says, truck of the day. This is the truck of the day right here. Check this awesome Vision out. What do you guys think? Is it good? Is it bad? Do you like it? What do you think of it? King of the Crease says, Richard, I'd sell it to you for 15 Hondo, baby, US. ThrobbNation fan says, that's not what I meant on the Tacoma. I'll explain if you get on my live stream. If I have a chance, I will get on your live stream. But after this, I'm going to try to eat dinner because I have not eaten a dinner yet. But I am going to make an effort to do it, JC. And I expect a full explanation as to what you're talking about. Gear Runner says, King of the Crease, I can buy it right now for $129. Well, then what the heck are you doing? Why don't you have it, buddy? Edge Everyday says, hello, King. King of the Crease says, hey, Edge. King of the Crease says, yeah, Richard, the Octane battery is another $129. Edge Everyday says 0 to 60 and quarter mile are almost the same. Are you talking about the Tacoma versus the Tundra? Fat Habitat says, once you've broken the 200-mile-an-hour threshold, everything feels underpowered. There you go, right? What's the fastest you've gone on this bike? Gear Runner says, look, there's a lot of things I can put up with on here, but you talking about how underpowered Courtney's Prius is not one of them. Yeah, I know. Well, you know, when you compare the Prius to the Subi, I'd have to see a drag race. I'm not sure who'd get it. I'm not. Richard Garner says, my new girlfriend walked in on me on the turlet, and I said, don't you knock, and she thought I was not in the bathroom. How'd you handle that, Richard, after that point? Was it a thing, or did you get over it? Mike says, glad someone is sticking up for Gear. We got to stick up for Gear. You know, Gear, sometimes Gear needs to be stuck up for, you know. I mean, he tries hard. He puts these videos out. A handful of people watch him. You know, he tries, and we have to stand up for Gear. I'm just saying. So check out his channel and stand up for Gear. That should be your new slogan. Stand up for Gear. Thunder Golf 501 says, yeah, we don't text during the day. She works for Maverick. She's in charge of making sure trucks are arriving to destinations on time. She doesn't have time to text. I bet not. Not in a job like that. Gear Runner says, that's right, Mike. LOL. Stand up for me, buddy. Edge Everyday says, Fat Habit, or Habitat. I would agree with you. Fat Habitat, yeah, I'm saying that right, says, no. The Titan was a Midnight Edition SV package, I believe. So, none of that chrome yuck. Richard Garner says, every day I keep finding more gray hair and it makes me feel old. I'm still waiting for some gray hair, you know. Unlike some people, you know, I don't have any. I don't know. Let's see. Gear Runner's upset. He retracted. Please stand up for Gear Runner. Come on, guys. Mike says, just for men, Gardner, just wash that gray right out of your hair. That's right. There you go.
That was easy.
Gear Runner says, well, when Rob gets the exhaust and intake on the Taco, he will finally have enough money in it to trade it in. Yeah. No, we're not doing that. Richard Garner says, Mike, by the way, the Tundra, you know, I was really hoping to keep the Tundra long term. I really was. That was my plan. I was never looking to turn the Tundra. I really wasn't. But life changes, and living quarters changed, and you realize I can't do what I want to do with this thing. So I had to do what I had to do, man. What can I say? Richard Garner says, Mike. Brandon says, yo, Rob. Brandon, how you doing, buddy? Does anybody know what this is? Brandon says, hey, Gear. Brandon says, Mike, row 10. Fat Habitat says, a big thing for me is the Titan warranty. 5-year, 100,000 miles. Yeah, I know. Versus 3 years, 36 for the Tundra. But you got to ask yourself why. Why are they having to offer, because you know they wouldn't do it if they didn't have to. Why are they having to offer such a long warranty? Sean says, I've had 5 tacos in my life. They are all underpowered. It's the powertrain that sells it. Still rather have the Tundra. Yeah, I mean, given the option, would I rather have the Tundra than the Tacoma? Well, sure. That's why I had the Tundra, but it just didn't fit my needs anymore. Mike says, sorry, I didn't say hey to King. How are things, Your Highness? Highness because of his height, but he's really Your Majesty. Mike says, Brando, baby. Brando says, hey, at King, at Edge every day, at Sean DeLong. How you doing? Gear Runner says, hey, Brandon, how are you? Fat Habitat says, that's bumper to bumper, by the way. Yeah, and I'm curious, do they throw in service on that too, like BMW does? I think on their 3-year, I think they have a 3-year bumper to bumper on theirs, I think. And they also throw in service, I believe. Brandon says, doing good. How you doing, Gear? Edge Everyday says, hey, Brandon. Gear Runner says, pretty good, Brandon. Brandon says, Richard Garner. Does Ryobi make a car? I don't believe so. But he might ride around on his drill. I don't know. King of the Crease says, Brandon, in a rather exclamation-y way. Mike says, LOL, Brandon. Jordan is throwing out a math problem. I'm not sure why. Gear Runner says hi, Krista. Brandon says, hey, Krista.
Hi, guys.
She's over there pounding on the wall, putting up cardinals. I don't know why. Gear Runner says that knife is pretty big. He was holding one of my guns. Oh, that's right. He had a gun. He didn't have a knife. Didn't you have another one when he had a knife? I thought you did. No, it was you that had the knife. Brandon says, Richard Garner, it would probably have a 3-speed transmission borrowed from the 3-speed Impact. Probably. What's the 0 to 60 on that thing? Richard Garner says, I got me a sausage biscuit at Dunkin' Donuts that tasted like rubber. I've never tasted rubber. What kind of flavor does rubber have? I mean, does rubber taste like it smells? Yeah, I don't know. Edge Everyday says, great job, Gear, on 500,000 views. You're halfway to 1 million, man, and that is admirable for sure. And just think, people have watched you over 500,000 times. How does that make you feel? Gear Runner says, yep, and we've seen you try to find your way home from the store. It may be days before you get any more Mountain Dew. Hey, I'm starting to learn my way around here, man. I can actually go places now. Gear Runner says, thank you, Edge. Fat Habitat says, balance beads go inside the wheel tire instead of the outside and are counteracting. Well, these actually, go inside the wheel and tire. Oh, that's awesome. I've never heard of that, to be honest with you. I like that. I wasn't given the option, to be honest.
The nice view we have out this window?
Yeah.
It's quite lovely.
Chris is trying to have a conversation with me now while I'm doing the live. I'm not sure why.
It's quite lovely.
She's looking at our view. Excuse me. That's a great idea, Fat. I like that. Richard Garner says, Brandon, and he's laughing and crying and sideways smiling the right way. He's a happy guy. Mike says, you didn't get it from the machine in the men's restroom. Did you, Gear? He probably gets a lot of things from those machines. Edge Everyday says, true, Gear. He will die before he gets home. Oh, my God. That's harsh. Gear Runner says, I know, Edge. Man. Richard Garner says, Mike, no, did not. Excuse me. Mike says, if it weren't red and a Toyota and it weren't lifted, I'd like it, LOL. What? You don't like that? What is wrong with you, Mike? Come on, brother. Richard Garner says, Gear Runner, eat a hairball biscuit and... Wait a minute. Gear Runner, eat a hairball biscuit, and I have glad it did not taste like rubber. I don't know what that means. Gear Runner's just laughing at Mike. Sean says it's almost time for Rob to trade. Hold on. Do I have a bad reputation for such things? I mean, I don't understand. Gear Runner says that biscuit was so nasty. Gear Runner says, was so nasty, Garner. Gear Runner says, thank you. I'm a lowly YouTuber. Oh, no, you're not. You're a mid-range YouTuber now, I'd say. Once you hit the 500,000 views, and what do you have? 2.7, 2.8, or 200 and, what is it, 2,800, 2,700 subs, something like that. You're coming right along, man. Let's see. It says, I think we all are, Gear. I think we all are. Gear Runner says that may be true, Edge. LOL. Sean DeLong says, go get that new Ranger Raptor, Rob. I'd like to see how long one will run. That's the problem. Probably not long. And is it even available yet? Is it out? Can you buy that thing? Fat Habitat says 208 mile an hour according to Garmin Nuvi. I had to let out of it because the G-force was prying my hands off the bars. I couldn't imagine. I think the fastest I've ever been on a bike is probably 80. And with gear on the back, you know, we couldn't really go much faster. So, Richard Garner says, Rob, I did have a Dodge truck, but I sold it to my cousin, and I wish I did not do that because grandfather gave it to me to have as my first vehicle. Yeah, that's rough. Mike says, hashtag kilted Mopar. We don't want to see Mopar in a kilt. I'm just saying. Richard Garner says, I don't want Krista to join. I want Krista to join the live stream. Well, I'm not sure where she's at. She's up and down. She's on a fix up the room kick right now. I don't know. Rebel Rouser says, sup, buddies? Hey, Justin, how you doing? What's up tonight, bud? We've missed you. How have you been? Mike is greeting Rouser. Richard Garner says, hi, Trouser Rouser. Rebel Rouser says, hey, Mike, how's it going? Rebel Rouser says, hey, Garner, how you doing? Let's see. Gear Runner says, hey, Justin. Fat Habitat says, ThrobbNation, interior decorating live stream on cue. Yeah, I know. She's putting pillows away. Here, I'll point you over there. You can see what she's been doing. If you guys can see. Krista? Krista, are you in there? Okay, I have to check the bathroom. There's a noise coming out of here. Wow, there's like, I don't know if you guys can hear that. There's like a bird sitting on the vent, I think. Oh. Wow. I think there's a vent sitting on, or a bird sitting on the vent for the bathroom outside. Wow. I don't know if you guys could hear that. That was really weird. I can't stretch this camera. Yes, I can. If you look up there, there was a squeaking noise coming out of one of these vents. Tried to turn the fan on. Wow. Okay, that was weird. Anyway, let's go back to ThrobbNation Central here. I probably got the camera all messed up now. Let's fix that. That was really odd. I don't know if you guys could hear that. That was kind of weird. I hope there's not something trapped in a pipe. That'll be nice. Wow, sounded like a bird. Anyway, we were talking about interior decorating. There you go. Rebel Rouser says, hi, Andy. Rebel Rouser says, congratulations on 500K gear. That's so awesome. It is awesome. It is a great milestone. Mike says, let's see. Is Krista beating her head on the wall? You never know, really. Sean says, gungrats. Gear, gungrats. Or gong rats. Gong rats. I like that. Rebel Rouser says, hi, Krista. Gear Runner says, thank you, Justin. Rebel Rouser says, your wheel weights are on the inside of the wheel. Apparently, you can get wheel weights. They're called beads, I guess, to put on the inside of your wheel. I did not know that, but that would be a great way to not have them fall off. Edge Everyday says, hello, Rebel. What's up? Richard Gardner says, Krista's probably hanging pictures up. She was. She was. Fat Habitat says, yes, they are called Dyna beads. Man, I wish I had known about that. May still end up taking it back if any more of them have fallen off. Let's see. Rebel Rouser says, what's up, Edge? Hey, Justin, what do you think of the truck? Take a look. 5 pictures. What do you think? Let's see. Mike Roten says, that comment got me to look. Got me the look I wanted. That's great. Gear Runner says, right at 2,800 now, about 3 away from it. Oh, congrats, buddy. You are moving well, let me tell you. Mike says, 4 Gear. 4. Let's be real here. Edge Everyday says, great job, Gear. Richard Garner says, I fell getting in the shower today, and I said, dang my old arse. Well, hopefully you didn't hurt your old arse. Gear Runner says, a few hundred more, Mike. A few hundred more. Gear Runner says, thank you, Edge. Edge Everyday says, popcorn. Oh, I'm starving, man. I could go for some popcorn. Kyle S. Hey, Kyle, welcome to the stream. Welcome to the channel. How you doing, buddy? Let's see here. Kyle says, yes, Gear, I love the gun videos, man. They are good. They are awesome videos, I must say. Gear is the gun man for sure. Gear Runner's laughing out loud. Gear Runner says, thank you, Kyle S. There will be all truck videos this week. Gun stuff next week. Awesome. Richard Garner says, Edges, are you eating Cheetos flavored popcorn? Kyle says, I have a Tundra too, so I like those too. Awesome. What year, what flavor Tundra do you have? Rebel Rouser says, I am doing good. Your taco is looking awesome. Isn't it awesome? Check that thing out, man. Man, it's just amazing. I just love looking at it. I might sleep in it tonight. I don't know. Rebel Rouser says, normally I only tell ladies that. Oh, I see. I see. And I'm not going to do it. Zach Talley says, hey, Rob. Zach, how you doing, bud? What's up this evening? Gear Runner says you said that right when you said it to Rob, Justin. We gotta send Gear in for a gender education class, because if this is what he thinks is a lady, I'm not quite sure. Let's see. Rebel Rouser says, hey, Zach. Rebel Rouser's laughing. Gear Runner says, hi, Zach. Fat Habitat says, don't pop. I'm not gonna pop. Sean DeLong says, is that the ghost of Tundra Past? I don't know. Could you guys hear that? Zach says, I need to start making videos again. Yeah, what's going on, buddy? What are you doing, man? I mean, are there other things to do in life? I mean, I don't know. Edge Everyday says, Rob is going crazy. He is looking for stuff that isn't there. It must be Alzheimer's. It could be. Rebel Rouser says, why is Krista on the roof? Don't ask why. Don't know why. Fat Habitat says, at least it'll be on the bathroom floor and not... Oh, wait a minute. I jumped. I must admit it. At least it'll be on the bathroom floor and not the Tacoma's beautiful paint. That's right. Gear Runner says, so there's a bathroom right beside Rob. One day he will do a live stream from in there. You know, it's funny you say that, because it had crossed my mind before about doing a live stream from the bathroom. And then I thought, that's odd. That sounds like something Gear would do. And I'm surprised he hasn't really, or at least from the shower. When are we going to see a shower live? I mean a clean shower live. But given all the time that you spend in there, I would think you'd have done one of those already. But I'm just giving you a little hint there. Richard Garner says, Gear Runner, I think your wife loves Chucky more than you. Well, why wouldn't she? Zach says, Rob, you have my approval with the Tacoma. Well, thank you, Zach. I know you didn't like the idea, but I assume since you've seen what I've done with it so far, you've changed your mind. Zach says, looks amazing. Thank you. I love it. Gear Runner says, Garner, my wife loves everything more than me. Rebel Rouser is very saddened by that comment. Richard Garner says, Gear Runner, and then he's laughing out loud. Remember, we got to support Gear. He needs support. Send him pantyhose. I'm just saying. Sean says soon he will need the diapers. The diapers. Someone needs to move down there. Zach says, Rob, the X3 is headed to college. I got my first acceptance letter and ordered my cap and gown. Where'd you get accepted to, bud? ThrobbNation fan says, maybe it was a ghost. It was a squeaky ghost. Gear Runner says, I hope Rob doesn't get the name of those beads wrong when he goes and asks for them. Well, maybe I hope he does. Unfortunately, Gear, I do know what you're talking about. I'm a little concerned that you do. Edge Everyday says, Sean, you are right. He will need a live-in nurse soon. LOL. You got that right. Let's make her... no, let's not go into that. G-rated. Edge Everyday says, Sean, you are right. He will need a live-in nurse soon. I'm sorry, I had to read that again. I don't know why. Richard Garner says, Gear Runner, if you use apple cider vinegar, it will keep the gnat away from your house. Well, that would be nice. Do you have to wear it or what? Fat Habitat says, let's see. Congratulations, Zach Talley. Don't let me indoctrinate you. Uh-oh. Gear Runner says, sometimes we have to use that, Garner. They get bad here sometimes. We got a lot of gnats here too, man. Drives you nuts. Gear Runner says, congrats, Zach. Edge Everyday says, Courtney is shopping and I ate cheese fries again. I'm having pizza rolls for dinner, I think, tonight. Richard Garner says, Gear Runner, I got to get me some more tomorrow at Walmart when I pick up Ant-Man and the Wasp on 4K. I got to watch that. I got to watch that movie. It has a chick from Lost in it. Isn't she the Wasp? Rebel Rouser says, my local Walmart could use a gender education class. Well, sign Gear up because you know he needs one. Gear Runner says, I've not seen that yet. I haven't either. I want to see it. Gear Runner's laughing at Justin. Rebel Rouser says, every guy in there wears lipstick. Well, you know, these days we can all do and be whatever we want, so that's okay. Richard Garner says, Gear Runner, my favorite actor in the movie is the girl that plays the Wasp, the girl from Lost. I know what you mean. Who you mean, I'm sorry. Fat Habitat says, the gentrification of ThrobbNation. The gentrification of ThrobbNation. Laughing. Twice. That's pretty funny. I like that. And it rhymes. Gear Runner says she used to play on Lost. She did. She's a babe. Edge Everyday says, if he needs support, we should send him a bra. I'd just send him pantyhose. I think they're cheaper. But that's what I would do because that's where he really needs the support. Rebel Rouser, let's see, says, why are we sending Gear pantyhose? Because he needs support. We need to support Gear. Richard Garner says, Gear Runner, she also played in The Hobbit. She did. She was an elf. I didn't like her with the ears, though. Just, it wasn't a good thing for me. Fat Habitat says, Edge Everyday, LOL. Gear Runner says, I didn't see The Hobbit either. Gear, what are you doing over there, man? Gear Runner says, make sure it's lacy, LOL. When a guy starts to tell you what kind of pantyhose he wants, that's probably not good. Edge Everyday says, Gear, I will send you a nice Lapperla. I don't even know what that is. I don't know what that is. Gear Runner says, I want to be a millionaire. Yeah. Richard Garner says, I can't wait for the last Terminator movie to come out in the theaters. And it's going to have the original cast from the first one. Really? Oh, that would be cool. Linda Hamilton, man. I'd like to see that. She has a twin, by the way. Did you know that? She was in one of the Terminator, or more than one of the Terminator movies. Timothy, let me get this right. Timothy Macalino. Timothy Macalino. I hope I get that right. Welcome to the live. Welcome to the channel, buddy. Timothy says, hello. Been keeping up with your mods ever since you got your Tacoma. Thank you. I appreciate that. I have the same model in cement. Awesome color, man. You know, I had the cement Tundra. Awesome color. What is your miles per gallon after the Ready Lift upgrade? I will have to get back to you on that, Timothy. I haven't really paid attention to that yet. So I can't give you an honest answer yet, but keep watching. There will be a video on that. Gear Runner says, I'm not sure what that is, Edge, LOL. Me either. And isn't it, again, kind of concerning that Edge does? I don't know. Rebel Rouser says, hey, Timothy. Edge says, hey, Timothy. Fat Habitat says, security notice. All trespassers are subject to search after being shot. I like that. Gear Runner says, hi, Timothy. Edge Everyday says, Lapperla is a $600 bra. Gear, Edge, how do you know this? Why do you know this? Why do you know this? Man, I keep expecting that Mountain Dew, you know, zing, and I get nothing. Nothing. Timothy says, let's see. Hey, just tuned in. Hey, Timothy, welcome again. Gear Runner says, oh, okay, that sounds good, Edge. LOL. Yeah, I'd sell it, you know, on eBay for like $300. Send me one, too. Richard Garner says, Edge loves bras. I can't speak to that. I don't know. Mike says, welcome to the live stream, Timothy. Yes, sir. Rebel Roger says, good to see you here, Timothy. Absolutely. By the way, Justin, do you notice anything in the screen? Does anything look familiar to you? Gear Runner says, after you send me that Edge, don't check my eBay account for at least a week after. We think a lot alike, that Gear and I. Brandon says, hey, Justin. Edge Everyday says, I saw them when I was in Vegas. The store was ridiculous. It had more security than Coach. Oh, you mean Coach, the what, the purse? Edge, you got a lot of knowledge on these female designer type things. I mean, I don't know. I thought Gear was bad, but I don't know. Krista's banging her head on the wall again. Rebel Rouser says, I'm going to help a friend install a grill on his new cement taco tomorrow. Hey, remember, what year is it, by the way? But pull up and out, up and out. And I believe the right side will come out quicker than the left side, if I'm not mistaken. But that's awesome, man. What kind of grill is he putting on? Fat Habitat says, Throb, I think you need to put a roll bar on that taco. I was thinking about that the other day. You know, I had that sport bar on the Rebel, and that was pretty cool. So I don't know. But am I going to be getting close to Back to the Future days if I do that and, you know, put the KC headlights on top? I don't want that look, even though I like that on that truck. Rebel Roger says, hey, Brandon, what's up? Gear Runner says, our Coach stores here don't have any security. Brandon says, not much. How are you doing, Rebel Rouser? Rebel Rouser says, I'm doing pretty good, man. I'm doing pretty good. Pretty good. Richard Garner says, Victoria's Secret had $1 billion bra in the Victoria's Secret fashion show that was made out of real diamonds. Now, I did hear of that. Let's see. Micro 10 says, don't forget to smash that like button. Yeah, hit that like button if you haven't, man. That helps me. It helps me out. Rebel Rouser says, the sign I sent. The sign I sent 1 million years ago. That's awesome. Yeah, what do you think? I had to bring that with me right there. This sign was sent by Justin. It's awesome. And, of course, it had to come with me to Texas. I mean, it had to. Brandon says, where's the Mountain Dew? I only have about 3/4 of a dew left, and then I'm out. So I'm kind of saving it for a little later because I didn't want to go out in the cold weather. Rebel Rouser says, are you liking the red or wishing you got cement? I do not wish I got cement. I like the cement. I like the blue and the Inferno. The Inferno was really cool. I almost got the Inferno, and I just decided it might be too fatty, and I might get sick of it after a while, so I got the red. No, I do like what I have in the red. I'm not regretting the red at all. No. Let's see here. Edge Everyday says, I am sorry I was wrong. They are going for 25 Hondo now. LOL. Wow. Fat Habitat says, Richard Garner, even if they're not real, I'm with the facade. Edge Everyday says, check the text, Rob. All right. I believe Edge has sent me a text. I heard my phone making noises. He's probably sending me pictures of bras. He did send me pictures of bras. Why? There isn't even anything to these, man. How can that be worth $600? Oh boy, Gear has sent it to me as well. They're both sending me pictures of bras. I don't know why. Now you guys can send each other pictures of bras. I mean, that's okay. I don't judge. That's funny. Rebel Rouser says, not sure. Not sure what grill he's going with. I'll send pics. Thanks for the info, so I won't screw it up. Yeah, and if it has the sensor thing on it, make sure you get that off, obviously, or you pull the wiring. Richard Garner says, I can't wait to November because the Victoria's Secret fashion is going to be on Channel 5, and I watch it every year. I don't fault you for doing that. I really don't. Brandon says, get the KC lights. That would be sweet. I don't know. Are they too old-fashioned? I mean, You know, they're very 80s, right? I don't know. Gear Runner says, I would rather have that bra, Edge. Oh boy. Boys picking out bras. I don't know. Never thought that would have been a topic of conversation tonight. I don't know. Brandon says, one of the worst things about the Tacoma, Rob, is that there are no rear seat AC vents. Well, you know, the only thing I can say to that is I don't sit in the rear. Edge Everyday says, ridiculous, isn't it, Gear? Yep. Gear says, yep, it is. I would never pay that much for mine. Rebel Rouser says, thanks for keeping the sign. Glad you like it. I do like it. I think it's awesome. It'll always be with me. Much like the Edge knob. I've got Edge's knob right here. That might explain why he's looking at women's fashions. I'm not sure. Let's see. Brandon says, if you go buy a Mountain Dew, it gives you a reason to go drive the truck. I know, and I've done that a few times. Richard Garner says, Edge, I don't want to know that you wear your wife's bra when she is not at home. Me either. Rebel Rouser says, are you going to do anything with the taillights and the headlights? Probably. It's not high on my list, but this truck's going to be a full mod out for me, so probably. Edge Everyday says, Richard, I wear it when she is home. Ha ha ha. I could see that. I could totally see that. Brandon says, yeah, I sent you a text too, Rob. What? Brandon sent me you couldn't have sent me a text. You don't have my number, bud. Rebel Rouser says, are they wearing the bras in the pictures? You know, I didn't want to bring that up. I really didn't, but one of the pictures is a selfie, and Gear and Brian are standing right beside each other. I don't want to go into any more detail on it. It's not appropriate for my channel. Mike says, get a real bromance going on. Got a real bromance going on here. I like that. And you're right, there is. Richard Garner says, Gear Runner, just buy yourself a Victoria's Secret credit card. Or a gift card. Edge Everyday says, nice gear. Rebel Rouser says, good one, Mike. Very good. Richard Garner's laughing out loud at Edge. Gear Runner says, my wife already has one, Garner. LOL. Oh, boy. Gear Runner says, no, I want the $1 billion bra. I'll definitely sell it and retire. What I want to know is if you did that, Gear, would you continue doing YouTube videos? Would you? Richard Garner says Krista has a head made out of steel. That's for sure. Brandon says KC lights are old. If you want to go more modern, get the Rigid Industries lights. I don't know if I like the Rigid Industry lights. They might be too industrial for me. But I'm not saying they are. I'm on the fence. I'm not sure. Edge Everyday says, by the way, how has the finish held up on the shifter? Let me grab the shifter. Here, I'm going to grab Brian's knob. Let me show it to you. Check it out. This is Brian's knob, and it looks exactly the same as the day that I received it. So it's holding up really well. Oops, I got to go this way. It's holding up really well, man. You did a great job. I mean, there's no difference today than when you first sent this to me. So it's holding up really well, really well. Put it back up here on the in my Hall of Fame. This is my Hall of Fame shelf here. So if anyone would like to have anything predominantly displayed there, as long as it's, you know, G-rated. By the way, do not send anything to the P.O. box anymore. I'm going to close that down and set one up here in Texas. So hold off on that if there's anybody that's going to send anything. I don't know. Let's see. Fat Habitat says Rigid Industries are overpriced hype. I don't know much about them, to be honest. Rebel Rouser says, this is seriously your first lifted truck. It is. I've never had a lifted truck in my life. I have never lifted a truck. I have never had, aggressive tires on a truck. And I have, other than what the Rebel came with, if you call those, aggressive. And I have never bought wheels for a truck. I did buy wheels for the Honda. That was the Type R. Those are the first. The Type R was the first vehicle I've ever bought wheels for, and the truck is the second, or the first time I've ever bought wheels for a vehicle, a truck, I should say. Fat Habitat says rigid. I read that. Richard Garner says Gear Runner finally came out of the closet. No, he didn't. He's yelling at us from in the closet. Let's see. Mike says, all BS aside, I really do like your truck, Rob. It's looking really good. Thanks, Mike. I appreciate that. I really do. It's coming along. There are plenty more things I want to do with it. But this was a huge mod for me. So I appreciate that. Thank you. Gear Runner says, my closets don't have doors, Garner. No, they have louvers, so he can pull them up and look out to see if anybody's standing out in the room. Gear Runner says, it's a good-looking truck. It's a good-looking truck. Thank you, Mr. Runner. I appreciate that. Edge Everyday says, then you can't come out of the closet if there are no doors. Gear Runner said, and he just has a curtain in front of his, a flowery curtain. Gear Runner says, yeah, I would continue doing YouTube. Cool. I would too. I love doing YouTube. It's fun. I love talking to you guys. It's I've met a whole group of people doing this, and I continue to meet more every day. I mean, it's just amazing, the people that you meet on here. Fat Habitat says, check into IPF lighting, Throb. They are affordable and work great. I'll have to do that. I've not heard of them. Gear Runner says, I think I get bored without something to do. It's amazing, you know, now that I'm doing this full time, there's just not enough time in the day. I don't know when I would work. Well, I wouldn't. I mean, I couldn't work full time and do this. I would burn out so fast. I mean, between the live streams, getting on people's live streams, watching other people's videos, interacting with other people, doing my own videos every day, all the editing, the live streaming, there's really not time. This, I mean, well, there shouldn't be. This is my full-time job, and it is a full-time job. It's 7 days a week for me. I do this no matter what. I did YouTube throughout the whole move from Columbus to Texas. I didn't make a video, nor did I ever not post or do a live stream when I normally do. I don't believe. Brandon says, maybe you can just put a flashlight on your roof, Rob. That's right. I'll throw one up there. I need one of Gear's lights. You know, those hefty ones. Since I didn't win the light he gave away, I could throw one up there, you know. And it wouldn't break because it's one of those hefty lights. Brandon says, maybe I read that. Gear Runner says, I remember when you got that. That's right. I assume you're talking about the knob or the sign. Mike says, I'm going to grab Brian. Wait a minute. Mike says, I'm going to grab Brian's knob. And a hush fell across the room. And Courtney perked up. Rebel Rouser says, Glide Edge's knob is holding up. It is for as much use as it gets. You know, a lot of, I'm not going to go any further. It is holding up quite well. Richard Garner says, Gear Runner, when Rob gets through modifying his truck, it will look just like yours. Yeah, except it'll be red. It'll be the mini Gear Runner truck. Micro 10 says 2 mag lights and a bungee cord. LOL. There you go. Edge Everyday says, great to know. Thank you. I guess 20 plus coats of super glue should hold up for a long time. Yeah, I can't believe you did that much. That's amazing. And it's awesome. Brandon says, good idea. Mike Gear Runner says, everyone needs a role model Garner. LOL. That's right. That's right. Rebel Rouser says, you'll put anything that's PG on the shelf. What can I send? Well, of course, I will be the judge in the end of what counts as PG. You know. Edge Everyday says, can't wait to see Justin. Yeah, Justin comes up with some creative things. Edge Everyday says, can't wait to see. I read that. Gear Runner says, I'm sure you can find something, Justin. Yeah, remember the bumper sticker he sent me? Fat Habitat says, Throb, hire a bikini model and make posters or calendars with the taco. It will generate good revenue. Gear, are you free? Richard Garner says, Gear Runner, I found a gnat in my coffee I was drinking this morning. Ew. So did you finish the coffee or did you throw it out? Rebel Rouser, I'll tell you a story about Krista here in some insect in a minute. Gear Runner said, or Rebel Rouser says, yes, get a bikini model and I'll thumbs up more. You can't thumbs up more than once. Well, you could. What am I thinking? Gear Runner says, just eat it, Garner. You won't even notice. Oh, gag, man. Brandon says, I agree. Rebel Rouser. Rebel Rouser says, 3 votes for model. Yeah, I'll throw a vote in there for that. I need some volunteers, man. I need some hot models. Anybody know any hot models? Rebel Rouser says 3 votes for a model. Rebel Rouser says, make sure it's female. Yeah, it's going to be a bikini model calendar. And I'm sorry, Gear, that means that you are not eligible. Richard Garner says, my girlfriend loves wearing micro bikinis all the time in the summertime. Asaf says, good evening to all. Dinner time in Michigan. Asaf, thanks for being on, buddy. I hope you have a great meal this evening. I appreciate you, bud. Edge Everyday says, okay, guys, got to go. Courtney is on her way to have to help with groceries. Edge, thanks for being on here, man. I appreciate you as always. Rebel Roger says, have a great night, Asaf. Mike Roten says, see ya, Asaf. Mike says, later, Brian. Brandon says, later, Edge. Edge says, see ya, guys. See ya, guys. Richard Garner says, later, Edge. Rebel Rouser says, sorry, Gear. Gear Runner says, see ya, Edge, and Asaf. Rebel Rouser says, have a good night, Edge. Gear Runner says, it's okay, Justin. I'm going to be okay, man. Rebel Rouser says, how about Caroline? Now, wait a minute. When we bring up Caroline, you tell us not to bring up Caroline anymore, that the parting of ways was just too painful for you. But now you're bringing up Caroline. I don't understand. Now, I can't believe why anybody who's gotten on here late has not asked me why I'm sitting here wearing long sleeves and a coat in Texas, in southern Texas. Let me tell you why. Because today, I about froze my arse off. It got cold. A cold front came through. The wind started blowing, and it's still blowing. And the temperature is now, let's just check this out. Temperature here now is 54 degrees. It's 54 degrees. When we went to the DMV this morning, it was in the 80s. 54 degrees. My daughter sent me a picture of herself. Josie, why aren't you on? I don't know if you're on. If you're on, that's a pretty picture. Let me show you a picture. This is the picture my daughter sent of herself. Let me make sure. Oh, here, I can just hit the picture, right? There. That's the picture she sent. She's so pretty. That's my little girl. Aww. That's a pretty picture. Anyway, let's see here. I got distracted by my daughter. Let's see. Rebel Rouser said, have a good night, Edge. Gear Runner says, it's okay, Justin. It's all right. Rebel Rouser says, how about Caroline? I read that. Rebel Rouser's laughing. Gear Garner, who is really Richard Garner, says, Gear Runner lost his bra wearing buddy. Oh, I thought you were talking about his dog. He lost his bra wearing buddy. What? Why is Gear wearing buddy? It's not what he meant. Gear Runner says, don't forget about the Krista story. Yes. It's so gross, man. She had a large coffee, right? She got it at McDonald's or somewhere, right? It's covered, you know. This is a while back. So she gets her large coffee. She takes it home. She's drinking her large coffee, and then she decides she needs to take the lid off to stir it or something, right? I guess when you have crap in your coffee, you have to stir it every once in a while. So she takes the lid off to stir the coffee, and there's a dead fly in it, man. A dead fly. Disgusting. So she puts the cap back on and finishes it. It's disgusting to me. This is a fly. I mean, a big fly, man. Not just a little gnat. A big, defecating, urinating, I assume they do, fly. Disgusting. I don't know. Fat Habitat says, ThrobbNation, you took the weather with you. Apparently. We brought the Ohio weather here. I mean, it sucks. Brandon says, have you gone crazy, Rob? Sweatshirt. I know. Fat Habitat says, now they will run you out of town. That's right. Rebel Roger says, what the heck? Texas must have crazy weather. It's been high 80s, 90s, and humid. I mean, hot here ever since we got here, day one. And now, this. It's horrid. It's horrid. Let's see. Gear Runner says, good picture of Josie. Yeah, I don't know if she's on here. She hasn't said anything. Brandon says, send her a picture of the truck. Well, I'm hoping she watches the channel and she's already seen the truck, but she hasn't commented, so I guess not. Rebel Rouser says, she is pretty. How can she be your daughter? Let's see. Mike says, I can only guess she looks like her mother. No, actually, you'd be surprised how many people have commented how much she looks like me. I'm just saying. I'm not making it up. People have said it. Many people have said it. Gear Runner says, I'm in the guest house, Justin, and I don't think it's cold. Fat Habitat says, she must have a very beautiful mother. Rebel Rouser is laughing out loud at Mike. Rebel Rouser says, so am I, Gear. Ooh, you guys are out there together. Sampling, I don't know. Gear Runner says, nope, Justin, nope. Brandon says, there's a reason McDonald's coffee is so cheap. That's right. Free flies and low prices. Mike says, most places charge extra for a fly. Ooh. Richard Garner says, I bet Rob will get snow this winter. Don't even kid about stuff like that, man. Fat Habitat says, because they fired all their cashiers, Brandon. Rebel Rouser says, it's freezing here, but the trees are still green. Yeah, it's green here, but it's windy, and it's cold, and it's very cold. I bet you there's a wind chill right now here. Let's see. Mike says, Gannats are usually free. They don't usually charge for them. Rebel Rouser says, Josie does look like you. Hey, many people have said it. I'm just saying. I'm not making that up. Gear Runner says, that's called flattery for you, Rob. Yes, I take it that way. Brandon says, later, everyone, have a good night. Brandon, have a good night, buddy. Thanks for being on here. I appreciate you being here, buddy. Mike says, see you, Brandon. Gear Runner says, see you, Brandon. Rebel Rouser thought it better to retract. Richard Garner says, Trouser Rouser, the trees here are still green, and I am freezing my arse off. I know, what the heck, man. Rebel Rouser says, have a good night, Brandon. Fat Habitat says, let's see. Last time I was in McDonald's, I asked them if they wanted me to fry the hamburger too. Ooh, I bet you that went over well. I hope you didn't eat whatever food they gave you after that. Mr. Garner says, Gear Runner. Gear Runner. Wait a minute. This, I get it. This is what? This is supposed to have a, oh, maybe Texas. I don't know what you're saying. Tennessee is supposed to have a mild winter this year. Lots of talking makes you cough. Makes me cough. It means more of this bland, clear stuff. It's just not the same, man. Wow. Rebel Rouser says, you need an I Love Taco license plate frame. No, especially no. That won't be good. Well, maybe behind me. I would put it back there. Mike says, me too. ThrobbNation fan. Hey, JC, 38 viewers. Is that a record for your lives? I don't know. Is that where I am? Is it 38? I don't show quite that many, but that's awesome. Rebel Rouser says, I'm on 19 accounts, JC. That's right. Justin is on here 19 times. You see, Justin has a bank of computers and laptops set up in his house. And he runs between each one, commenting and participating all night long. He's on like 16 different live chats right now. It's amazing to me. I don't know how he does it. Gear Runner says he needs an I Eat Tacos license plate. Not gonna touch that. Jarhead 600RR. Jarhead, how you doing, buddy? Welcome to the live and welcome to the channel. Jarhead says, I came across your channel while looking up Rebel videos. You still have or got rid of it for the Tacoma. Well, Jarhead, let me tell you a little bit about myself. I trade vehicles frequently. I've had somewhere in the 50s, maybe close to 60 now, vehicles in my lifetime. Excuse me. And I do not have the Rebel anymore. I love the Rebel. I really did, but moved on to other things. Since the Rebel, I've had 2 Tacomas and a Tundra since the Rebel. And you know, the Rebel was a 16, I believe, and this is 2018. So, yeah, what can I say? So, no, to answer your question, I do not have it anymore. Do you have one? Do you like them? Or what's your story? Richard Garner says, Trouser Rouser, you better not be flirting with Vince's niece because she is my dream girl. Uh-oh. Rebel Rouser says, don't get the frame. You'll get crowded by honkers. I won't. I would not. Gear Runner says he's had 14 trucks since then, Jar. Gear knows me. Fat Habitat says, Jarhead, welcome to the chat and thank you for your service. Well, absolutely. Rebel Rouser says, I just got a hankering for Subway. Subway plain turkey and provolone cheese sub. That's not what Gear Runner said, but or Trouser Rouser, or that's not what he said, or Rebel Rouser. He said even better, Gear. Jarhead says, LOL, thanks, Gear Runner. I was curious. Gear Runner, well, I hope you'll stick around, bud. There's always something going on here, and we have a great group of people on here, man. It's like a little family, you know? Richard Garner says, Rob, I think Trouser Rouser is in love with your daughter. Rebel Rouser says, hey, Jarhead, Tony Warren. Hey, Tony, how you doing? Tony says, 2 new trucks yearly. Hi, Rob. You're not far off, Tony. I have a problem. I admit it. I accept it. And how you doing tonight, bud? Gear Runner says, welcome to the channel and thank you for your service, buddy. Rebel Rouser says, nope, Garner, LOL. Mike Roten says, yes, thank you for your service, Jarhead. Rebel Rouser says, yes, thank you for your service. Tony Warren says, trucks/cars yearly. I know, I have a problem. Rebel Rouser says, hi, Tony. Tony says, hi, Rebel. Richard Garner says, I loved Jarhead the movie. ThrobbNation fan says, come on, only 6 likes and 38 people. It just seems to be the way it goes. A lot of times people just forget, man. I forget. You know, I'll get on people's live streams, and until somebody says, hey, did you hit the like button, or somebody brings it up, I didn't even think about it. It's not that I'm trying to not do it or anything. I don't know. YouTube needs a better way. I think when you join a live stream, that should register as a like, you know, because why else would you be on a live stream unless you're a troll? And then it should still be a like. Let's see. Mike says, mine shows 9 likes and 19 people. ThrobbNation fan. Yeah, I'm not sure where 38 comes from. I've not seen 38, but I'm not monitoring the number of people, so I'm not real sure. Gear Runner says, hey, Tony. Jarhead says, I don't own a Rebel. My last truck was an 04 F-150, and since then I've had a few vehicles myself, but I'm looking into getting back into a truck. Take a look at the Tundra, man. I mean, if you want something that's reliable, and I realize it's not the most up-to-date, everybody acknowledges that, but, man, the Tundra's an awesome truck if you have the room for it. I mean, that's what I had up until I got the Tacoma, which is on the screen here. The Rebel was awesome, too. You know, the Ram products, I put them in my top 5, maybe even 4. But check them out, man. They got some good trucks as well. So, Jarhead says it was a great movie, Richard. Rebel Rouser says mine shows 8 likes and 22 watching. See, it's all over the place. I think it depends on where you're sitting. Jarhead says, thanks, guys, for the support. Absolutely. Thanks for coming on here, man. I hope you stick around. Richard Garner says, I only see 4 likes and 18 people on here. See what I mean? Richard Garner Mike Roten says, no, thank you, Jarhead. Y'all don't get enough. Let me read that with the right enunciation. No, thank you, Jarhead. Y'all don't get enough. Man, my screen jumps. Isn't that a great time? Enough recognition. I agree. I mean, without you guys, there aren't any of us guys. So, Gear Runner says, definitely true, Mike. Richard Garner says, Jarhead, go. USA, USA, USA. Tony says, hi, Gear. ThrobbNation fan says, it also says started streaming 21 minutes ago. You need to click your refresh thing or something. Something's not right. Rebel Rouser says, you're missing your Tundra, aren't you? I missed the Tundra, but not at the expense of the Tacoma. It's not to say that I would get rid of the Tacoma and go back. No. Let's see. Fat Habitat says 11 likes and 1 Canadian. 11 likes and 1 Canadian. Let's see. Rebel Rouser says, I think you're behind, JC. I think you're behind, bud. Gear Runner says, he looks at my Tundra, Justin, and thinks about times of old, LOL. Gear Runner does have an awesome Tundra, I must say. The lift on that thing, the whole setup, it's an awesome looking truck, man. And that's not to take anything away from Rebel Rouser's Odyssey. I mean, that's a pretty cool minivan. Mike is laughing out loud at Fat. Rebel Rouser is laughing at Fat, or with Fat. Rebel Rouser says true, Gear. Gear Runner says LOL Fat. Allo Chromu. Allo Chromu. I hope I'm getting it at least close. Welcome to the stream. Welcome to the channel. Pretty stock sorry. Pretty stock sorry. Pretty stock sorry. I don't know what you mean there. Gear Runner says thanks. Richard Garner says Gear Runner, I can't sleep in my bed because I now have a sheet on the bed because they are in the washer. Well, put it in the dryer and then put it on the bed. I'm just saying. Mike says that Odyssey rocks, man. Gear Runner says put them in the dryer, Garner. There you go. Once again, Rebel Rouser says thanks, Rob. I'll pretend that you meant it. I did, Justin. I did. I had an Odyssey once myself. Rebel Rouser, I read that. Rebel Rouser says, thanks, Mike. Gear Runner says, that's funny, Justin. Richard Garner says, I am watching Big on Blu-ray right now. Big. That's the movie with Tom Hanks, isn't it? Where he was small or became a child or swapped places with a kid, I think. Yeah, that's what it was. Swapped places with a kid, I think. I don't know. Anyway, guys, we are at the, God, where are we? We're at the hour and 42-minute mark. Fat Habitat says, if dad bods are in, minivans are soon to follow. I'm going to be a dealer tomorrow. There you go. Gear Runner says, have a great night and week, everyone. You too, Gear. Thanks for being here. Rebel Rouser says, great live stream. Hey, it's you guys that make the live stream great. I'm just here running my yapper. I appreciate all you guys being on here. I really do. The channel is still growing pretty good, albeit a little slow. Tell everybody about it. I need it to grow. I need it to grow. It's how I make my living. Anyway, appreciate you guys being on here. Mike Roten says, y'all have a great week and good night. Rebel Rouser says, have an awesome night, Rob. Thanks for all you do. Thanks for all you do, Justin. Thanks for supporting the channel and being on here, man. Gear Runner says, glad I could make your live stream great again. Hey, you can. You really can. Jarhead says, here's my take. F-150 bulletproof, beautiful truck. Chevy, I like the new design. Exterior, interior has been the same for the last 10 years. Tundra is a nice looking truck. However, I believe it's trailing on the technology department. You're absolutely right. I think the Rams are right up there with Fords. Yeah, I agree with you there. And the Ram has the best, I think the best technology out there. That new 12-inch gigantic screen is awesome. I wish I had that in the Tacoma there, man. That would be cool. Mike 10 says, make live streams great again. That's right. Support your local live stream. Support ThrobbNation. Make live streams great again. Appreciate y'all being here, and we will see you next time on the web. Have a good night. Peace.